Okay, Leute, die Scheiße ist hier ganz schön am Dampfen in Zero Escape 999. Wir haben im letzten Part das Safe-Ende gestartet und Clover wurde ermordet, die wo uns zuvor im Axe-Ende ermordet hat. Das heißt, ne, verdient. Ne, Spaß beiseite. Ne, wir müssen auf jeden Fall herausfinden, wer überhaupt für diesen Mord verantwortlich ist. Auch das Bracelet von dem 9. Typ ist weg, das Armband ist weg. Und wir haben ja über Clover herausgefunden, dass Snakes Arm ja nicht kein echter Arm war. Das heißt, es ist natürlich super seltsam, dass Knochen gefunden wurden an seinem Tatort. Das heißt, ist Snake überhaupt tot? Sehr viele Fragen sind hier gerade offen. Mal gucken, ob wir Antworten finden.
Does the darkness of the sinister hand have something to do with the bracelet? There's two things sticking out on either side of the face. The left and right sides of the face. Left and right. Left and right. Right and left. Truth is gone. Truth gone. How about switching the sentence around? Gone had truth. Well, that makes even less sense. Clearly, switching the words isn't going to help. What else could gone and truth mean? Truth, of course, means something that is correct, something that's fact. In other words, something that is right. You could then safely assume that gone means left. After all, after someone left, they were gone. But in this case, they clearly refer to their directional homonyms. Then truth equals right, and gone equals left. The left and right of the bracelet. These two things sticking out. So if I... Wait, did it just... One, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Huh? Hey, what are those numbers?
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Ich notiere mir das mal.
One, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1 to the right, 4 to the left. And... Oh. Bingo. I knew it was for this.
Okay, scheinbar war es unnötig für mich, das zu notieren.
Oh, is this some sort of note? Let's see.
Okay, Fakt 1. Das Nonary-Spiel wurde schon einmal vor 9 Jahren gespielt. Fakt 2. Die Person mit dem Nummer 2 Armband, in dem Fall ist Snake, hat schon mal an diesem Spiel vor 9 Jahren teilgenommen. Fakt Nummer 3. Es wurde geplant bei den folgenden 4 Personen: dem CEO von Cradle Pharmaceuticals, Gentaro Hongo, Cradle Pharmaceuticals Chief of Staff und Nagisa Nichisaki, Cradle Pharmaceuticals R&R Supervisor, R&D Supervisor, Teruaki Kubota. Oh Gott, Majority Shareholder in Cradle Pharmaceuticals, Kagechika Musashido. Ich muss sie bestrafen. Für die unschuldigen Leben, die sie opferten. Das ist die einzigste Warnung, die sie erhalten werden. Diese unschuldige Szene wird vielleicht gerettet werden. Ich werde jetzt die Wahrheit sagen. Zero. Okay.
Sorry, but do you think you could all come with me?
Come with you?
I want all of you to go to the big hospital room.
Why?
There's something I want to be sure of.
What do you want to be sure of?
I want to know if the person I suspect is really the culprit.
Wait, then you're saying...
Yeah, I think I've got it figured out. I know who killed Snake and Clover. Anyway, if you could all please move to the big hospital room. I'll explain everything as soon as we get there. It's 5 o'clock. We don't have a lot of time left. Let's go. Actually, before we get started, I was hoping you could do something for me. Ace, Seven, and Lotus, could you please place your palms on the red?
Huh?
Why? If we need to get to the shower room, why don't we just...
No, we're not going inside. Once you've authenticated, step away from the door.
Why?
Please, just do it. Or perhaps you don't want to know who killed Snake and Clover.
Fine.
What about you, Ace, Lotus?
Very well.
Sure.
I have this idea. I don't think this device responds to a hand placed on it. It instead reacts to a bracelet being brought close. You don't actually need a hand. I knew it.
Huh?
What was that about?
How should I know?
Thanks. I appreciate your cooperation. By the way, Ace, would you mind if I asked you something?
What is it?
Do you know who I am?
What? What kind of question?
Just answer it, please. Who am I?
You're Junpei, of course. Who else would you be?
Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. Actually, I'm Santa.
Der leidet doch an diesem Ding, ne? Dass er Gesichter nicht unterscheiden kann, oder? Das wurde ja doch gesagt im letzten Part. Verarschen wir ihn jetzt gerade?
What?
The clothes I'm wearing, I borrowed from Junpei. And the clothes he's wearing are mine. We had a little swap.
That's ridiculous. Impossible.
So, you're saying I'm not Santa?
Of course you aren't.
Why? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa?
If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. 1 plus 7 plus 8 plus 3 equals 19. 1 plus 9 would be 10. The digital route would be 1. But the 4 of us just opened door 3. You can't possibly be Santa. Your bracelet number isn't 3.
It's 5, right?
Huh?
You're exactly right. My bracelet number is 5. Sorry, Ace. I tricked you. Of course I'm not really Santa. I'm Junpei. Who could possibly think I was? It's obvious I'm not. To think I was? Ridiculous. But I guess you couldn't see just how obvious it was. I asked you before, didn't I? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? And you answered. If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. Most people wouldn't say something like that. The first thing that would come to anyone else's mind wouldn't be the bracelet number. There'd only be one thing they'd say. One sentence. You don't have his face. Ace, you have prosopagnosia, am I right?
Prosopagnosia?
What's that? No clue.
Prosopagnosia is...
Very well. I confess. I have prosopagnosia. I cannot differentiate human faces. Is that what this was about? You want to mock me for my disorder?
No, not at all. I'm not making fun of you at all. In fact, I feel kind of bad for you. No, the reason I brought this up is that there's an excellent chance the person who killed Snake has prosopagnosia.
What do you mean?
I'll just come right out with it. I think it was you, Ace. You killed him.
That's ridiculous. What possible evidence do you...
I have 3 pieces of evidence. The first, think back to a few hours ago. You made us argue over the 3 doors here in the big hospital room. There was no way all 7 people could go through them. Lotus suggested that we sacrifice one of us. Then you, Ace, said, "I'll stay here." Why would you say something like that? It's pretty simple, really. You didn't want us to see the dead body in the shower room. You see, if Ace stayed behind, there were only 2 doors the rest of us could go through. Doors 7 and 8. There was no way we could get through door 3, the shower room. You knew that, didn't you, Ace? That's why you volunteered to stay behind.
Come on now, I think that's going a bit far. I can understand if you're jealous of my bravery, but please don't devalue my actions. I only wanted to save the rest of you. Surely you can understand my altruism.
Altruism, huh? You already knew, didn't you? You knew that whichever doors we took, eventually we'd end up back in the big hospital room.
What on earth are you saying? Of course I didn't know that. How could I have?
Really?
Yes.
Oh well, that's cool. I've still got 2 more pieces of evidence that say you're the killer. The second is that, as I said earlier, you have prosopagnosia.
Then you mean to imply that a person who can't distinguish human faces must be a bad person? Junpei, they call that prejudice.
No, I am not that stupid.
Then why?
Well, before I explain, I suppose there's something I should tell you. The corpse in the shower room. It's not Snake's.
What?
I didn't put it together right away, but there was something Clover told me. She said that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. He'd lost his real arm in an accident. But the body we saw in the shower room, let's call him Guy X. Guy X's left arm was definitely flesh and blood. In other words, Guy X couldn't possibly have been Snake.
Oh God. No. That's impossible.
Let's say, hypothetically, that the killer didn't have prosopagnosia. If that were the case, he would immediately realize that Guy X wasn't Snake. Even if the clothes were the same as Snake's, their faces would be completely different. It would have been obvious they were different people. And yet, they still killed him. Why? Why would they kill a stranger who'd only just shown up? On the other hand, if the killer did have prosopagnosia, it makes sense. They thought Guy X was Snake and killed him.
Wait just a moment. Let's say you're right, and I mistook Guy X for Snake. Even if I did, I would have had no motive to kill him. Why would I want to kill Snake?
I can think of at least 2 motives. 1, Snake knew about your past. If he ever revealed what he knew, that would have been really bad for you. You really didn't want that to happen. So to make sure Snake's mouth stayed shut, you killed him. 2, Snake had a grudge against you. You knew that, or at least you could have easily assumed he did. Even without exposing your identity, he was a threat to you. You never knew when you might be attacked. You couldn't ever let your guard down. Every moment was a moment he might try something. You didn't want that kind of danger hanging over you, so you...
Hey, hold on a minute. What's the past that Ace wouldn't want us to know? Why did Snake have a grudge against him?
Look at this.
What's this piece of paper? The nonary game was played once before 9 years ago. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. It was planned by the following 4 people: Cradle Pharmaceuticals CEO Gentaro Hongo. What?
It's the message from Zero. It was in the safe in the first-class cabin.
Give me a break! That paper is a lie! Someone is trying to frame me!
Me. You said me, right? Wouldn't that mean you're admitting you're Hongo, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals? Or am I mistaken?
Very well. I admit that much. I am certainly the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical, Gentaro Hongo. So what if I am? I don't know anything about this nonary game that supposedly took place 9 years ago. Everything on that scrap of paper is bullshit. Someone is trying to set me up, you see? First of all, Junpei, you're claiming I did this all by myself. Think that over, all right? How could I have killed Snake all by myself?
Not Snake. It was Guy X.
I don't care who it was. You said the killer put this other man into door 3, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Then I couldn't have possibly done that alone. I couldn't have opened door 3 with only myself and Guy X.
Nope. You could have.
Huh?
What?
Actually, Ace, when you were unconscious, I took something from you. Remember when you were injected with that anesthetic and fell asleep in the big hospital room? Yeah, back then, I took this.
No! You couldn't have!
I got you, Ace. Your right hand there tells me all I needed to know. You want to tell me what you were so worried about? What's in your pocket? It's the number 9 bracelet, isn't it? Ace, Guy X, and the 9th man's bracelet. That was all you needed to open door 3. That's how you killed Guy X all by yourself, Ace. All you needed was the number 9 bracelet in your chest pocket. If you want to play innocent, that's fine by me. Go ahead, tell me. I don't have the bracelet, if that's what you want to do. But if you could take off your coat and hand it to me, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll have to take it from you by force. Right, Seven?
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure.
Well done, Junpei.
Also, dass er der Killer ist, hätte ich tatsächlich nie gedacht. Darauf bin ich gar nicht gekommen. Er war tatsächlich einer der weitesten entfernten, wo der Killer. Ich dachte, es wäre die ganze Zeit Snake gewesen.
As you so correctly deduced, I have the number 9 bracelet. I retrieved it while we were searching for the missing hardware for the red. I left the room I was supposed to search and headed to the first-class cabin on B-deck. My purpose was to obtain the number 9 bracelet. 9 is a potent ally in the nonary game. Adding 9 to any set of numbers won't alter the digital root. As you can see, 9 is a very useful number here. With it, one can go anywhere, with anyone. It is, I suppose you could say, a game changer. So I made for the first-class cabin to obtain it. In mere moments, I successfully acquired the number 9 bracelet. There was also an unexpected bonus. The knife the 9th man had used. I quickly pocketed both of them and left. I made my way back to where I was expected to be. That's when I ran into Snake. Well, this guy X, actually. I spotted him ahead of me. He was heading for the large hospital room and hadn't noticed me. The man wearing Snake's clothes arrived at door 3. When he stopped, I walked up behind him and called out, "Snake." He turned around. He said nothing. His mouth simply hung half open. He seemed dazed somehow, almost like a man half asleep. Perhaps he had been drugged. It wasn't important. I tend to gloss over little things like that. I was certain that man was Snake. I knew Snake had taken part in the nonary game 9 years ago. Being blind, it made sense that he didn't recognize me immediately upon our first meeting. But why then hadn't Snake said anything to me later? Surely he hadn't forgotten what had happened to him in the nonary game. But not once did he attempt to confront me. Did his lack of sight prevent him from fully recognizing who I was? Or perhaps Snake had conspired with Zero to deceive me. Regardless, he was a threat, and it was better to deal with him sooner rather than later. I had to get rid of him before he took action. With quick thinking, my plan went into motion immediately. I held the number 9 bracelet over the red. I waved my own bracelet in front of the red, and then grabbed Snake's arm and shoved his hand against the scanner panel. The door opened. I threw the man through it. 9 seconds later, the door shut. 81 seconds passed. After that, I returned to my post as though nothing had happened. After conducting my own search, I returned to the large hospital room when the 1 a.m. bell rang.
Ace, did you kill Clover?
Yes,
Why? Why did you kill her?
she was Snake's sister. It was possible he had told her something dangerous. Additionally, she had gone through door 1. It seemed likely she might have found it.
Found what?
Why don't you go through door 1 yourself? Perhaps it's hidden somewhere.
Yeah, but Lotus and I went through door 1 too.
We didn't see anything suspicious.
Yes, I thought as much after I heard your report at the central stairs. I doubt the 2 of you could find it.
Huh?
But perhaps Clover was different. Perhaps she had found it. I was, therefore, desperate to find her. And at last I did, in the first-class cabin. I spoke very calmly. Did you see it?
See what?
Don't act as if you don't understand. You were in the captain's quarters, weren't you?
Uh-huh. What are you talking about?
Very well. By the way, what are you doing here, Clover?
What? Nothing.
There's blood on your shoes. It looks fresh. Did you go take a look at the 9th man's corpse? I see. Your silence suggests that you noticed. You saw something, didn't you? You saw that his bracelet was gone.
No!
You aren't going anywhere.
Oh!
You're staying here.
No!
Don't you run, little girl. That was how I killed Clover.
You son of a bitch!
Also, wie schon gesagt, sorry, dass ich in dem Let's Play nicht so viel kommentiere, aber ich erlebe das gerade einfach selber und bin da gerade voll mitgezogen. So, alter Junge, ich hätte niemals gedacht, dass Ace der Killer ist. Wirklich, ich dachte wirklich die ganze Zeit Snake, der seinen Tod vorgetäuscht hat. Aber doch nicht Ace. Ich meine, es war dann schon ein bisschen, also eigentlich habe ich ihn gar nicht verdächtigt. Ich habe jetzt eigentlich bis zu dem Punkt, wo er ihn exposed hat, habe ich immer noch Snake verdächtigt. Aber dass es Ace ist, darauf komme ich echt nicht klar.
I admit it. I've lost. I have lost. Completely and utterly. Don't misunderstand, Junpei. I didn't lose to you. I lost to Zero. Not you. I'm rather disgusted with myself for falling into such a simple trap. I looked the fool. And it was a trap, make no mistake. I was trapped and manipulated by Zero. The man I killed in the shower room, if he wasn't Snake, then I have no idea who he was. But he was wearing Snake's clothes, and that was no coincidence. He had also been injected with something that reduced his cognition and prevented him from identifying himself or resisting me. And we can't forget the components that were removed from the red before we arrived. I have no doubt that Zero planned all of this. Zero made sure I would kill that man. It follows, of course, that Zero knew everything I would do. That I would try to take the number 9 bracelet. That I would try to kill Snake. Everything.
Ich muss sie bestrafen. Für die unschuldigen Leben, die sie opferten. Das ist die einzigste Warnung, die sie erhalten werden. Die unschuldigen Seelen mögen vielleicht gerettet werden. Ich werde jetzt die Wahrheit sagen. Zero.
I think Zero is one of us.
Huh? Zero is one of us?